Yay, we have people. They still like me. Yay. Or at least they're willing to watch me make a fool of myself every Sunday as we talk about cocktails, which we're going to do again tonight. Yay! So this is 58. We've done 58 of these things. Um, we hopefully this long dark interregnum of the COVID-y thing is maybe going away-ish. I mean, a lot more people are vaccinated. We're doing a little more of, hey, if
Hi,
you're
Greg.
vaccinated and we're vaccinated, could we go have dinner together kind of things? So we did that. We went
that
to
last night.
and the night before.
Yeah, right. We did that twice.
Yes, we went to Epic Smokehouse
Oh.
and had smoked prime rib, which was so good. But we had it with friends, and we had to sneak them in because they were leaving the next morning, to go to New Orleans. And so one of our studio guests, Amanda, had asked me pretty early on about making some cocktails, and one of the cocktails that she was interested in making, because her dad was coming up from NOLA.
He's from there, yes.
Right. Was the hurricane. And I'm like, well, we got friends in NOLA. We've got NOLA friends, so
Right.
we should do
And
hurricanes.
David and Chris are headed there early next month.
Oh, sweet.
And we'd introduce our other
Oh, that's right. They
guest,
are. Oh my gosh.
but she's got the cat.
Yeah.
So
So
later.
should we?
We'll
Yep.
bring her up later.
So before we totally get started, I guess before we totally get started, we should toast,
Yeah,
right?
toast.
Toast.
Did you lose your drink?
Nope. That's right here. But
Ah.
so what are we drinking? We are drinking a blended Caribbean rum. This is a dark rum. I honestly can't tell you what all is going into this. It's clearly has a significant amount of molasses-based rum. It wouldn't surprise me if there's some cane sugar rum in there, but I mean, it might be a little surprising. So this is Papa's Pilar. You've seen Papa's Pilar multiple times on the show, but this is a particular blend. This is the Marquesa blend. I like the Marquesa blend better than I do the standard dark blend. It's a little on the... It's not quite as sweet, actually, as the original blend. It is a complex rum. If you are looking for a blended rum that will do yeoman's duty for you, most of the Papa's Pilar stuff will work. And of course, its own homage to Papa himself, Hemingway. So, there's that, I guess, for whatever that's worth. Hemingway was a great drunk. Drinker. His drink making skills, maybe not so much. There's a number of drinks that are notable for having been served to him and him wanting a particular variation of that cocktail, which almost always involved less of the other things and more rum. So, it's maybe not so much on the understanding what a balanced cocktail is supposed to be like. But still, it's Hemingway. He's kind of the patron saint
So what
of
all
rum.
are we toasting?
What are we toasting?
We're toasting studio audience again. Yay!
We're toasting enchiladas for dinner.
Oh, yay.
Our studio audience brought us food. Yay!
Salad and cornbread, yeah. My mom's birthday is tomorrow. So to my mommy. 5 years ago, we were at Meg and Luke's wedding.
To Meg and Luke.
Meg and Luke.
And their little one.
The child.
Shoot. Yeah.
Thanks for making a fool of us on
their
baby, who's now not quite so baby.
I'm going to be in so much trouble,
I have not
Bundy.
met the child yet. Someone has. I have not met the child yet.
At some point during this broadcast, I am likely to just blurt out some child's name, and it will be that child. It'll be Megan Luke's kid. Who? Wow, that is just total blank on me. I have no idea. Here, honey, you can put that away because counter space is going to be limited this evening because we're going to try and run through a bunch of things. All right, what else? So last week we had this unusual circumstance of there wasn't anything new to show off. It was a down week for us. This time That's not the case. So those friends that are running off to New Orleans, before they did that, they dropped into a local distillery, and they gifted us with some rum and some gin from the Falls Church Distillery. So we are looking forward to taking a taste of these and seeing what they might be like. Yeah, I'm still on camera. Okay, good. Seeing what those will be like, because having another local distillery that produces good stuff would be awesome. So we don't have to traipse all over the place to get to Cotton and Reed and Lion and the other good distilleries. And then we have the copitas, which we get little small ceramic drinking bowls, primarily for mezcal and other agave spirits. It's just a traditional way of sipping, which we first. Just a way of sipping. Wow, that looked really stupid on the screen. Yeah, we first discovered that at Aspida. Still love Aspida. Looking forward to maybe getting back to Aspida at some point. What else did we do? We got another Cthulhu for the bar because, well, Lovecraft cocktails, right? So see, there's our new Cthulhu. Wow, it's small and you can't see it, but the studio audience likes it. They think it's cool. So there you go. My wife has started doing garage sailing or thrift store sailing and that sort of thing, and so she found things like this. So we have Professor Ape Rum something. We haven't yet come up with a real name. Professor something or other, right? Because
Professor Monkey.
Professor Monkey. We also got to try a new restaurant that serves tiki drinks and Thai food called Tiki Thai. I mean, straight up good advertising there. And of course, we came home with a drinking mug. Yes. I will point out, I got this mug because it was the same kind of mug that was used for the first drink that I ordered there, which was a Mai Tai. And, well, this is a classic Mai Tai glass. This is the glass they served the Mai Tai in. There was a rather lot of that particular cocktail.
And we have a swizzle.
Oh, and we have new swizzle sticks too. Okay, so the swizzle sticks we actually had last week and somebody forgot. So we have these new swizzle sticks from House of Taboo. So this is the same people that produce one of the magazines that we get, which is Exotica Modern? Modern Exotica?
Modern Exotica.
Modern Exotica. And so we have these nifty little swizzle sticks, little cuties with the little tails at the bottom, right? It's a little mermaid, little girl.
No, Exotica Modern.
Exotica Modern. Okay, so there we go.
David is sipping a sunrise tonight.
Is that a euphemism, or do you actually like tequila sunrise?
Through a ba-ba-ba.
Is it a Surfside sip straw? Yay! Most people's understanding of the hurricane is something that comes in a yard-tall glass filled with crushed ice, usually kind of bright red. Really is only heavily alcoholic because of the amount of volume of the glass, not because percentage-wise it's actually fairly high in alcohol. And most familiar with seeing really drunk boys wandering around with them on Bourbon Street in the French Quarter. That seems to be the normal trend for the hurricane. Often really candied sweet. Just really, really sweet. And that's kind of not what you want from a tiki cocktail. You want something that's a little more balanced and a little more complex. And you're not shooting for just massive volume. Okay, tiki drinks have a reputation for being strong. But it's not because of just the mass of liquid that they're serving you. It's usually the concentration of alcohol in the drink that is what is giving you the quick buzz. So we're going to go back into the history of the hurricane. And sort of the classic recipe for the hurricane, and it's still a large volume drink, is 4 ounces of a dark Jamaican rum, Okay, so what are we going to do for dark Jamaican rum? You could use anything that you might have on hand. Smith and Cross is a Jamaican rum. It's a blend of different Jamaican rums done in the English style of blending, and it's a perfectly solid, good rum for that. We don't have to get too squirrely with this. It's also slightly overproof, which will make these drinks even better. Then you have lemon juice, which is a little bit of a departure from the tiki norm, which usually has way many of these and not so many of these in it. But the lemon juice actually works with the third ingredient, and here's where things get squirrely, because the red color from the hurricane traditionally comes from something called fashionola. Okay, so fashionola. What is fashionola? Good question. So this is Jonathan English's Fashionola Red. There's two thoughts on this. Fashionola is a classic, old-school tiki ingredient. But the company that made fashionola went out of business. And there's vanishingly few people that know what the original fashionola tasted like. And there's really two very distinct schools of thought. One is it should be like really tart and heavy on the passion fruit. Well, okay, that's fine. You could maybe substitute passion fruit syrup, as Jeff Beachbum Berry does, but that's a yellowish color. That's not going to get you the color that you want for your hurricane. The other school of thought is no. Fashionola should be like really punchy, fruity, berry. The closest analog that most people know is Hawaiian Punch. Hawaiian Punch and passion fruit syrup, not anything close to each other. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the base hurricane recipe and we're going to do one with fashionola. We're going to do one with passion fruit syrup. Then we're going to get squirrely and we're going to mix the passion fruit syrup and the fashionola and split the difference and maybe play around with the rums a little bit. And then the last one, there's another school of thought that says, no. Fashionola is an ingredient that comes from the Hawaiian Islands. Like, okay. And their mainstay is passion fruit, orange juice, guava, the so-called POG trio. Okay, so we don't have any guava, so we're going to actually substitute mango for the guava and create another hurricane that's based off the POG kind of numbers. We are also... So, okay, so modern... What bar has fashionola? Okay, vanishingly few. What bar has passion fruit syrup? Well, tiki bars, right? What bar serves hurricanes? A lot of bars serve hurricanes. So how do you get around that? Well, the common substitution these days is to not use lemon juice. It's to go back and use lime juice, add some orange juice in, and then use grenadine for the sweetness and use that as a trio. We're not going to do that partially because most of the grenadine-based hurricanes are Rose's grenadine based, and that's where they get that hyper sweet thing from. That, yeah, we don't need to do that here. We just don't. We don't need to do that. So I am also not going to make us 4 full-size hurricanes because that would be 16 ounces of rum. There are 4 of us here. We wouldn't be moving past. We wouldn't be going anywhere. Yeah.
For yourself.
Amanda might be moving straight to the couch for the evening, but that's right. The rest of us actually, we can't do that. So I'm going to cut everything back a great deal. So what are we going to do?
You have another new thing.
I have another new thing.
Your shirt.
Oh, that's right. I have a new shirt. We are in the process of planning our next anniversary party, wedding anniversary party, which isn't until next year, but we're planning on doing it in Vegas. And my wife happened to go thrift store finding and found a shirt that's got roulette wheels and Playboy bunnies on it. How is that? I'm so wearing this to Frankie's Tiki Room in Vegas. Yeah, absolutely. Right. So there we go. So that's the new things. And Amanda has graciously gifted me with, not gifted, but gifted me for the evening, the loan, one of these elevated shakers. So the elevated shaker is much like a Boston shaker in the sense that it's a three-piece, like these guys.
Cobbler, isn't it?
Cobbler, right? But this has a twist seal and is double hulled, so it keeps the cold better and all sorts of other good things. So at some point, I may try this. We shall see. Maybe. Hopefully, before the evening is done, we will give this a try. I also only made 3 garnishes for the hurricanes, so we'll see whether or not we get to this 4th hurricane with the poggy percentages. All right, so what are we going to do? Well, let's start with 2 ounces of the passion fruit syrup, which is, in my case, a passion fruit puree and simple syrup. That's all that is. And we're not doing 2 ounces. We're cutting this more than in half. We're going down to a quarter, which means I got to do math here. That was stupid. I should have put the reduced recipe on my map. So 1/4 of 2 ounces is half an ounce, right? Yeah, okay, got that. See, kids, stay in school. Make cocktails for your parents. All right, so I'm going to try and do this, and that means a 1/4 ounce in this one, right? That's the plan?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Once again, sticky ingredients go in first. Fashionola is here. Oh, this stuff is so red. Oh my gosh. Don't get this on you. It'll look like a crime scene. So none in here, not 2 ounces, half an ounce there. This is going to be fun.
We have a key.
Hi, Keith. All right, and then a 1/4 ounce here, right? That's the plan. Come on, there you go. 1/4 ounce. I have high hopes for this one. We'll see. There is also a trick of making something fashionola-esque that involves grenadine and Smucker's red raspberries jam. I've done that. It works okay. It works okay. What can I say? It works all right. It's fine. Okay, what else are we doing? We're doing 2 ounces of lemon juice, which that'll be a half ounce of lemon juice in each one of these. Make sure we grab the lemon. Okay, half ounce. Oop, that's a little high. There we go. Half ounce. Oh, see, my wife just walked up and scribbled something on the easel, which I thought she was going to do the math for me and adjust all the measures, but no, that's not happening. I'm going to rely on my math skills, which is why we're going to do this first and not later in the evening when the math skills may have deteriorated some. Just a tad, right? And then, so 1/4, right? No, yes, 1/4, right? So 1/4 of the rum, it's usually 2 ounces of 4 ounces of rum, so 1 ounce of rum. Math is hard. Stay in school. Drink more. Okay, so full ounce. Full ounce. Full ounce. That's it. It's only a 3-ingredient cocktail. Unless, of course, you're doing the grenadine and the lime juice and everything else. So it just makes it easier, right?
We have a question from the from online.
An online question.
Miss Brooks says, "But what are your thoughts on the most famous hurricane drink, the Pat O'Brien Hurricane from NOLA? 25 words or less."
Everyone that visits New Orleans should have a Pat O'Brien hurricane at least once in their lives. Make up your own mind as to whether or not you want to have a second. I have had hurricanes from other places in New Orleans, and I gotta say, I mean, Pat's has them for the history, but I think there are better hurricanes in the French Quarter. Anyway, certainly.
I said it was a fun tourist experience.
And Pat's are a step above the wander into the shop and get the yard of, yeah, which are just nasty. All right, so there's one, there's two, there's two. Look at that, we're all good. It's all fine. We're gonna move the lighting here. Got that. Scoot that back. It's all good. We're fine. We're fine.
You look buena viani.
Great. Let's do that again. Let's do that this way. So red. Look at that. Somebody died in that glass. Blood spatter experts would love this cocktail. All right. There's our three.
Gwen has our rum.
Gwen has our rum. Gwen just came back from Puerto Rico. I'm guessing she has rum for us. All right, so passion fruit. Yep, doesn't look anything like what you normally think of as a hurricane. All right. Number two. Yes, I'll need these washed. Number two, Fashionola. Yeah, that looks more like.
I think if we each have our own, that way we can do around it.
Number three, the mix. I got high hopes for this guy. It's a credible color. You can see the Fashionola just sort of takes over. You put it in anything, it's going to be red. So it's a little less red, right? You can tell the little bit of orange. All right, we're going to shove some crushed ice in these, and then we can serve them up. Ice. Oh, it's not a hurricane unless it's garnished, right?
Right.
And if you're wondering about making your own Fashionola, go right ahead. There are any number of various recipes for making Fashionola, and the one thing I can say is that they don't seem to really have, yeah, that's done. They don't really seem to have a whole lot in common. My usual go-to guy for things like this would be Matt Petrick from Minimalist Tiki. And he basically says, look, throw a whole bunch of fruit in a bowl, add an equal part sugar, shake that guy all up, and let that create you an oleo saccharum, and there you go. Use that as your Fashionola. Should be very berry forward, which makes it more like this kind of Fashionola than this kind, rather than the passion fruit.
So we each have our own straws.
Yeah.
Over there, so I thought I'd give you a straw.
Sweet.
And
So I can do this.
let you try, and we will each come up and get one. So
That's tasty.
I will take hurricane number one.
I want number two.
We'll send you up to get hurricane number two. I'll try this one.
Very tart.
Yeah, the passion fruit should make it very, very tart.
Definitely.
Like I said,
Oh, garnish.
garnish.
Oh, sorry. I took mine too early.
You did. Like I said, we're gonna get way too much garnish on these guys. Because, well, it's a hurricane. It's about overindulging, right? There you go. Oh my gosh.
Can you even fit a straw in there?
Yes.
Go ahead. Go around and get
This
your-
is the fashionola. Straight up fashionola. I need another one of these guys. See, I was originally going to do these a little larger and do them in goblets, and hence
We'll let you
these
go up and get drink 3.
would be fine.
We'll introduce you on screen.
But I decided discretion is the better part of valor when we're doing other cocktails this evening.
Studio audience number 2.
This is Colleen, and Colleen is getting a passion fruit and fashionola
Ooh.
mix.
Did you get your taste?
I did.
Excellent.
I did. And then the wife gets the straight up passion fruit. Which, you know, maybe she was smart. She was the one that took the drink
chose the right
too
one.
early, and so she drank some down, so now the garnish actually fits.
So I get to keep this one, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Bye.
So there you go. There's the passion fruit version of the cocktail of the hurricane. There you go, folks. So, what do we think?
I like this one. I like this one. We like ours.
Everybody seems to like theirs. Well, that's good.
I gotta write the other ones again for a second.
Notable differences? Anybody?
Definitely less tart. I'm just when I made hurricane for my dad.
Uh-huh.
It was interesting because I made one like this and he didn't like it, but he liked the tart one.
The ones with a little more of the passion
Yeah.
fruit. And, you know, that seems, as you would expect, right? The passion fruit is the more tart.
Right.
The half and half is a little less tart. And the full-on fashionola is rum and Hawaiian punch. You know, right?
I think Colleen wins with number 3 is my vote.
You like the mixture of the two?
Everywhere.
There's an empty glass here.
You
Because
were
I
gonna make
didn't
the fourth
do,
one.
I haven't done the fourth one, which would be this pineapple,
Oh.
orange,
We
mango
have
in this case.
education.
We have education. What?
Passion fruit is called Parcha. Parcha in Puerto Rico.
Ah. It's probably because Gwen was drinking drinks that had passion fruit in them while she was in Puerto Rico. All right, so if we're gonna do the same thing that we did here, that means we need a half ounce of the juice component, right? That has to be comprised of 3 different juices. That's gonna be challenging. So I'm gonna go with a base of orange at a 1/4 ounce.
Yes.
And then we don't actually, okay, we do have some guava, but we have a larger thing of it, and so I don't want to open it. So we're going to open up some mango instead. We can go a scant 1/4. And then I want some pineapple juice in that. I could use fresh pineapple juice, but I didn't get around to squeezing it. I just made slices, so we'll deal. And we're going to go a scant 1/4 on the pineapple juice. Right. So still lemon juice. And in this case, half ounce lemon juice. No, we're going to go a 1/4 ounce lemon juice. And then I'm going to go a 1/4 ounce lime juice. We're going to split the sour base. Why? Because it's my drink. I can do what I want. And then
Yeah.
we're going to get messier. I want an overproof in this, and I want some significant funk to this. So I'm going to go with a a white overproof, the Ray and Nephew, and we're going to do a half ounce of the Ray and Nephew.
We have a Flora.
Hey, hello, Flora. I was tempted to use the rum bar and go for the Worthy Park, but I feel like I'm kind of caught in a rut using the rum bar. So, and as it turns out, we have something else that's new that I forgot about. Because, do you want the funk? We want the funk. We want the funk. We want the funk. So yeah, we friends of ours went to Rehoboth and they brought back the funk. And they gifted us with a bottle of the funk. So this is a blend of Jamaican rums, it's unaged, heavy pot still rum. I popped the cap on this and went, smells like Worthy Park. And we went, it doesn't say. And then we looked it up and it's like, oh yeah, it's Worthy Park. All right, so we need a half ounce here. So we are combining some of the heavier ester pot still rums from Jamaica, but we're not using a dark. Right, so that's going to be a different flavor profile because there's no real age on these. So the trick on the funk as a rum, I think there's a middle component that it's missing. So you get this taste. The initial smell is heavily funky, and then the initial taste is, oh yeah, that's Jamaican, and then it kind of goes away. You're like, wait, Jamaican should hang around here and be a little heavy. And then it kind of comes back and gives you another little taste at the end. It's a little bizarre. I'm not sure I really like that kind of weirdness about it, having that lost middle component there. But it's a great mixing rum. We need ice in this, right? Yep, ice.
So David says, since it's food constraint, it's not a hurricane. It must be a subtropical storm Anna.
So, this is an interesting concept. I figured, wait a second. Hurricanes are an Atlantic phenomenon. Typhoons are a Pacific phenomenon. And cyclones are an Indian Ocean phenomenon. So, of course, I went and said, well, if I'm going to do variations on the hurricane, then let me go look up, because certainly there's got to be a cyclone, and certainly there's got to be a typhoon. And they are, and they're not anything like the hurricane. They're not like a variation of this, which I think is just wrong. And none of them are like really super popular or super canonical. So we may return to this at some point and do a really nice hurricane and then go off and do like cyclones and typhoons and let me play. Because if you're going to go tiki and you're thriving on this sort of Pacific Island quasi-humorous culture, humorous take on that culture, then darn it, you should have a drink called the Typhoon. And it should be properly tiki, and the typhoons that I ran across just aren't. So that's a problem. Oh, there's a hand up. There's a hand up.
Brooke again.
Brooke again.
When you say funk, can you describe to folks what that means to you?
Yes. So I can. Do you want me to do that now? No. So it means Parliament. Yeah, of course. Grand Funk Railroad. No. So what am I talking about when I say funk with a rum? So Jamaica has a particular style of funk which they get from their heavy use of dunder. Other places use dunder as well when they're making their rums. Jamaica seems particularly adept at it. They also are using pot stills, and the pot stills lend a heavier ester component, and often they will also use a longer fermentation time. The funk that you're getting is fundamentally those heavier esters. That's what you're getting. You're getting it mostly up here, and then on the taste, you're getting it in the same spot, but it's coming up the back of the throat as opposed to, just the front of the nose. But and dunder is weird. Dunder is essentially when you do a distillation, you have a pot, and there's some leftover mash at the bottom of the pot. Yeah, they'll take out that, and well, they have dunder pits where they take that out and they just throw it in the pit and let it bake in the Jamaican sun, and things fall into it, and then they'll take shovelfuls of that and they'll throw it back into the pot for the next pot still run, and that's where you get funkiness. There's also weird apocryphal stories about like hanging dead chickens over their dunder pits and that sort of thing. So who knows? But yeah, it's the really heavy ester compounds that you're getting that really sort of describes Jamaican funk, which
I linked that article by Matt
I-
about Dunder.
I don't think you can get that same level of dunder also with just commercial yeast. I think there's a natural yeast component that is part of the Jamaican style of rums that lends itself to those funkier compounds. Man, I hope I got everything in this. Pure experiment. I have no idea what this is tasting like. Never done this before. If you think I prep the drinks ahead of time, I sometimes do. Not tonight. What did I do with my hawthorn? Over here.
I watched it.
My wife washed it, and I can't find anything. No. All right. So this is not going to be the color you would want a hurricane because there's nothing red in here. It seems really pale. You also don't have any of the darkness from the dark rum, right? So this does not look anything like what you would normally consider a hurricane. This is a thick lemonade. It doesn't smell like a thick lemonade. It smells like funk is what it smells like. That's not bad. All right, so we're gonna shove that in there. And then I'm
Steal
gonna
some of his.
run that around. Nope. She's like, ooh, and I'm
I
like,
like it. It's
nope.
not a hurricane, but
it's
I
not a
like
hurricane. If that is the flavor profile that folks are going for with the hurricane, they're not getting it from the first three that we did.
it. We have a Ruth.
Might need to pump up the passion fruit a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a hurricane, so it doesn't get a garnish, Dave.
Wait. Oh,
Dave
wait.
wanted a garnish. Oh, here, just for Dave.
That was tart. Ah, that is tart. That is tart. Tart alert. You said lemonade, so yeah. That's a, lemonade is supposed to have sugar in it. That's Buffy's lemonade.
We have a Ruth.
So we do.
Check you out.
We just drizzle a little fashion all over that. Wow, that does look like a blood spatter. Oh my gosh. There you go.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. Well,
Like I said, Buffy's lemonade.
Buffy's lemonade. Oh, okay, we're gonna. Okay, you saw how little fashionol I put in that, right? The little more red. It's actually reminiscent of probably what David's drinking,
Yeah,
the tequila sunrise. And tastes nothing like a tequila sunrise. I'm not going to call it a fail because when you're doing science, things that don't work aren't failures. You learn from them. I'm not a big fan of this. I mean, it's fine. I'll drink it, or you can drink it. Is that what you're here for?
No.
Oh.
I was
Usually
going to do a
she's-
commercial interruption.
Usually, the only reason she comes up here is either I summon her or she wants
Did
to
you see
steal
what
it.
I wrote on the board for you?
Oh, right. Yes. Duh. Oh man. Okay.
So, commercial interruption. One of our favorite tiki people.
Needs a.
That would be Shannon Mustafar out of New York, who wrote Tiki Modern Tropical Cocktails. Did a talk for Shaker and Spoon this month. She was part of their Ramp You Up for Rum. And we ended up with a signed Aloha to Lovecraft Cocktail fan and friend of Star and Pooches. Be transported by these libations. Mahalo, Shannon. And we have our award for our door prize, and this goes to Amanda.
Oh.
Yeah.
Amanda, come up and get your book.
We have a signed
We
copy.
have a signed copy of this.
Because well, I can't say we hung out with Shannon,
Yeah.
but we got to be around
So
Shannon when she was
you
doing a guest turn.
Get a signed copy of
Thank you.
Modern Tiki Cocktails.
Thank you very much. That
You're
was unexpected.
welcome.
Thank you.
Shannon was pulling a shift at Archipelago in the before times and hawking her book and having generally a good time. And we got to interact with her a little bit and got her to sign our copy. And so when we won the second copy, we're like, but Shannon, we have a signed copy. You were there. You signed it in front of us. She's like, yeah. So, yes, so we have a...
Thank you.
And now we're back down to having one copy. Yay, because book space is limited because we're fiends. All right, so there we go. We've got 4 variations on the hurricane, or 3 variations on a hurricane, and then this.
Which is not a hurricane.
It is not. It's a little better with the Fashionola. Just a little drizzle. There's a little more sweetness to it. Yeah, no, I think all 3 of the others were much, much better than that. So, live, learn. Come on, it's an ounce of alcohol. Not a big deal. All right. It could also be the Smith & Cross is a dark, heavy rum that's got some really cool characteristics to it that I don't think certainly the Funk doesn't have, and the Ray and Nephew is a little one note on its estery compounds, little like dead banana kind of notes. But all right, so there we go. There's our hurricanes. There's our visit to New Orleans. So now what are we going to do? Okay, little known fact. Star and I have a habit on Sunday mornings of sitting down and watching Greg from How to Drink, and we'll just watch him do videos. And we're working through his back catalog because he's been doing this for 4 or 5 years. And we finally got far enough back to where he hit like Tiki Week. Yay! And one of the drinks that he made was Missionary's Downfall. And I've not made the Missionary's Downfall ever because I just keep forgetting that the Missionary's Downfall requires you to have like fresh pineapple. Not fresh pineapple juice, fresh pineapple chunks. I'm like, oh, well, okay, I don't have that, so can't do that. Well, fortunately, my wife was coming back and stopped in the market to pick up limes, among other things, and picked us up a pineapple. She picked up 2. And we dutifully chopped up the pineapple because we needed it for the garnish for the hurricanes, but also so that I would have some chunks so I could do a Missionary's Downfall. Missionary's Downfall also is one of the few classic tiki drinks that is vibrant green. Yeah, I mean, like a lot of tiki drinks are brown. I mean, they're just kind of ugly dishwater brown, which is why they're served in opaque mugs, amongst other reasons. And then, there's a series of tiki drinks that are kind of bright orange or reddish. Green seems to be unusual. Blue, we get blue, the blue Marlin, the blue Hawaii, the, oh my god, I need to use up some of the blue Curacao that I still have knocking around in my cupboard from, I have no idea how long ago. But green. Green's a little unusual. And the green color comes from, mint. So we need about a 1/4 cup of mint to go in this. And this is a blended drink, and it's a blended drink that goes in one of these. Not your little spindle blender. With the spindle blenders, you're just trying to aerate them and get a little, air and mixture to it. So you just like zap it for like 5 seconds, maybe 10 seconds. We're going to go like 20, 25 seconds with this guy. So we're definitely we're going solid on this. So what do we start with? We start with 1 ounce of honey syrup. I should actually make 2 of these, shouldn't I? Because there's 4 of us here. All right, so we're going to toss that jigger. We're going to go with the Japanese style jigger. All right, so, 2 ounces of honey syrup. My syrup should be over here. Honey syrup, right? Now, if I know my audience, they're going to tend a little toward the sweet side, which is fine, because this drink is classically made with a 1-to-1 honey and water mixture, and my honey syrup is 2-to-1. And no, I'm not going to make a fresh batch of honey syrup at 1-to-1 just for this drink. So we're going to go 2 ounces of the home honey syrup. Now, if you like drinks that feature honey in them, like the bee's knees and that sort of thing. One of the things that you can do, 2 ounces. I could have just. Wow, I must be distracted. It's the Bowie. That's what it is. If you like drinks that feature honey in them, one of the things you can do to experiment is go out there and get yourself different kinds of honey. Because let me tell you, the difference between a buckwheat honey and a key lime honey and your standard wild clover honey is kind of night and day. Nothing broken. We're good. We're good. It's all fine, mostly. All right. And so the honey itself will bring different notes to your cocktail. There's also things like jalapeno honey out there, which Star is like, no, keep that away. Which are actually kind of quite tasty over chicken and waffles, but it's an entirely different thing. Has nothing to do with tiki. All right, what was I saying? Right, honey syrup in here. You can experiment with different honeys. If you are doing a drink that is highly complex and you're using not a flavored honey, but a honey that is coming from like key lime honey or something along those lines, chances are most of those flavors that you will get from the honey are going to be drowned out by the other ingredients. But if you mix this with a heavy rum and some absinthe, your one honey is going to be just as good as another. But if you're doing something like the bee's knees, which is just 3 ingredients, it's lemon juice, gin, and honey syrup, you'll really actually get different flavors coming from different honeys. And it's a great way to kind of play around and make the cocktail your own. Half ounce of lime juice. So we're going to go 1 ounce of lime juice, because why did I do this? I really should have just done the full-on measurements and not made myself do math, because it's just going to get harder. All right, 1 ounce. 1 ounce lime juice. I don't know if do I really need to repeat this? Fresh. People, use fresh juice. It matters. Oh my gosh, does it matter? If I see you squeezing out of the little plastic lime into a tiki drink, bad on you. Keith, use up that lime concentrate you got there, buddy.
Imagine something that isn't a cocktail.
Keith, get one of these. All right, where are we? Okay, weird ingredient. Weird ingredient. Peach liqueur. Yep. And I quite agree with Greg here that you're not looking for a peach eau de vie. You're not looking for some great, like, peachy, cognac-y kind of thing. No. You want peach. And so we're going to use De Coupier's Peachtree Peach Schnapps, because we want this to taste like peach, and it's going to taste like peach. It's probably going to be a little on the sweet side. My audience will love it. My studio audience will love it. All right, so full ounce. That's for 2 cocktails. It's half ounce, right, for a standard 1 cocktail. Right. And then we need 2 ounces, or roughly a 1/4 cup, of pineapple chunks. So just a little trick with the pineapple chunks. This one should be obvious. Take the rind off first, okay? Just saying. All right, so we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4 chunks. That looks like about a 1/4 cup, which means I need to do that again because there's 2 of, right, 1. Math is hard. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we're gonna call that a half a cup pineapple. We need rum. We need rum in here. Rum. Okay, so typically this requires only 1 ounce of rum. So we're gonna go 2 ounces of rum. I'm like, really? I mean, that's kind of wussy. I mean, well, and it calls for light rum. I mean, it's kind of sad. Light rum? I mean, light rum? It's like Bacardi Superior? I can't do that. No, so here, what we're going to do, I'm going for the color, right? I want the color, so I'm not going to go with a dark rum. I'd reach for the OFTD and the 69% because I only got an ounce in here. But instead, now we'll go with slightly over 40%. We'll go the 41.2% of the Plantation 3-star. It's got a little Jamaican, it's got a little Barbados and some Trinidad in there. It'll all be fine. It'll all be good, right? 2 ounces. 2 ounces. Why don't I actually use the side of the jigger that has the 2-ounce pour on it? That would be good. Glug, 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 glug,
We
glug.
had a plantation 3-star emergency.
We did. We were doing a shaker and spoon box, and we noticed that there had to be things that had to be infused the night before. And we're like, oh, well, okay, we have enough plantation to do the infusion and not enough plantation 3-star to do the actual drinks tomorrow night. Oh, no. So we immediately run right out. And fortunately, local ABC stores, many of them carry plantation 3-star.
But our main one
Our main one did not, yeah.
That's the one that I get. I got for the box too.
Okay, so now there's a 1/4 cup or 2 ounces of mint leaves. Okay, so we have mint. And mint from the garden. We're not going to smack the mint. No, there is no need to smack the mint because we are putting it in a blender. It will get all the smacking it needs in the blender. So I'm completely and utterly eyeballing how much mint is going in here. I want a bunch of mint. And sadly, I love the fact that I have mint out back, but our mint leaves are a little on the small side, so I'm going to be doing this for a while. So hi, how are you guys? We're going to call that good. I'm going to call that a 1/2 cup of mint. All right, so what have I got? I got the honey syrup, check. Lime, yep. Peach liqueur, light rum, pineapple chunks, mint leaves. What are we missing? We're missing ice. This won't work without ice. We need roughly 6 ounces for 1 drink or 12 ounces for 2, which is going to be about 1.5 scoops, and that was a pretty heavy scoop. So I'm just going to go there. Blend for like 20 seconds. 20 seconds. That just seems wrong to me. I'm so used to like, zzz, done. Oh, and it's been a while since I've used this blender, so yeah, I haven't checked to make sure it still works.
Duck.
Duck, goose? No. All right, so we got 20 seconds. We need to count down and go.
Happy New Drink!
I think we needed more mint. It's not quite as green as it should be. It's kind of pale. All right, so we want to do like one. Do we want to do 2 small mugs or 1 big mug for this, or do you want me to pour it into like 3 or 4? I can split this however. 4 small. Great. Okay, fine mugs here. Okay, actually, the classic. I forgot totally. The classic glass for this is actually a coupe, which is totally unusual for tiki drinks, but. Right. So we're going to try this. So pineapple froths and foams in under agitation, which is going to give this a really interesting mouthfeel. He says, never having tried a homemade Missionary's downfall. Wow.
I'll take the blender.
And then ordinarily I totally forgot. So I have 2 mint sprigs. Again, the classic garnish for this is just a mint sprig dropped right. You don't need to smack this mint. Trust me. There's enough mint coming. I mean, if you want, sure, fine, okay. Woohoo! More mint, right? It's just a mint sprig dropped right center of the glass. So here we go. We've got these.
You're in Colleen's. Colleen got a cat again.
Occupied me.
So there you go.
Thank you. I'll pick up Colleen's too.
We'll give you 2 the ones with the pretty garnish.
Thank you. I get the one with smack mint.
Star, you can have that one. The heck, I'm getting a cocktail this evening. Woohoo! So the Missionary's downfall. Pineapple-y, hopefully.
Ooh.
Minty.
Yeah.
Cool and refreshing.
Yeah. Very minty.
How's that mouthfeel?
That's nice.
I think it could have blended for a few more seconds. I get a little leaves in here. You got a little something stuck right there. Yeah, it's like- I just saw Deadpool again the other night, and I'm just reminded of him lying there. Go, Francis, you got something right there. Having him go look. It's like, oh man, got you again. You want more? Yeah, okay, fine. So we used to go to a sushi restaurant in Champaign-Urbana, and we were known for going to the sushi bar there. And occasionally we would stop at the bar, the actual cocktail bar, not the sushi bar, to have a drink or two. And there were some frozen drinks on the menu that Star absolutely loved. And the bartenders got to know her. And so they would always make like a little extra in the tin, and they would just like set the tin next to Star. And she always got a little extra.
Are you going to be using that?
Am I what?
Are you going to be using the blender?
The spindle blender?
Yeah.
I will not actually.
No, I meant the one that has some still left in it. Some missionary downfall left in it.
No. Yo, Willis.
The winning what Moa?
The studio audience wants the rest of that picture. It's all right. I'm behind here. I have the non-hurricane and the missionary's downfall. So what is the theme tying these drinks together? Not a darn thing.
Pineapple.
They're tiki drinks, and I want to make them. That's what it is. There's no actual pineapple in the hurricane, so
In the garnish.
it was in the garnish. Yes, okay.
Greg says that drink looks green enough to be good for St. Patrick's Day.
Maybe it's the lighting. It does. Oh, no. Okay. As it sits, it gets greener, right? So you get the pineapple foam comes to the top. So I have to learn. I was always taught that you make the cocktail and then you get the cocktail to your people as fast as you can because it's all downhill from there. Well, it turns out that's not actually true, that there are cocktails out there that benefit from sitting for a moment or two, not just from appearance-wise, but also for flavor. That they need that moment or two to just meld and come back together after being agitated or shaken or blasted with a blender. And this may be one of those cocktails. I think, yeah, that's much more the green I was expecting. So
David knows what ties these drinks together. Rum.
I was like, careful. I know, David. We've been going out a little more. We stopped in at one of the local bars that in Old Town that we had frequented previously. And then after having a drink there, we went across the street to a brand new Thai restaurant. For whatever reason, this week has been all about Thai food. I don't know why. We've had Thai food like 3 times. But this was the first of the Thai foods this week. And it was a new place called Signature Thai. And I mean, sort of classically, your Asian restaurants have some sort of cocktail menu that often has a nod to tiki on it. And these guys did have a couple of tiki-esque drinks on their cocktail menu. And so I thought, let's try, let's see how they're doing. And we were sort of gobsmacked that both of the cocktails that we had were really quite nice, to the point that I asked what was in mine because I wanted the recipe. And they gave it to me. I'm like, okay. And then I looked at the recipe and it says it's 2 ounces of rum. What rum? And they graciously brought me over to the bar and pointed to the well. And I was like, oh, okay, all right. So we're going to make that drink. I wasn't planning on making that drink this evening because one of the ingredients in that drink is yuzu. And I don't keep yuzu on hand. And we didn't find any immediately. And on her run to get the pineapples and the oranges and that sort of thing, my dear wife found yuzu fruit puree from Monin. And Monin.
No, I found it from Amazon.
Well, is that what happened? Okay. Never mind. She actually ordered it from Amazon. That's how we got it. Anyway, that's why we're doing this drink, this cocktail from the Signature Thai restaurant in Old Town Alexandria. And this drink is called The Jungle. And be prepared, because we're going to get a little weird. There's strange things in the jungle. Not just the drink. There's strange things in the jungle.
Oh, Fun and games.
Fun and games, yes.
Do you know where you are?
So what's in this? Okay. I need to shake this. Not that. Good. These guys go away. Man, I am just running through the cocktail shakers this evening.
You wanna
Do you need it clean? Oh, you've got the
elevation?
new one.
Oh, I do have the elevation. I could use the elevation. Awesome. And the elevation is actually a bigger cocktail shaker, so I can make a double batch in here.
Yeah.
So I should do that. That'd be.
Oh, you're doing it.
It has. So the elevation has this interesting little. It's not a dimple. It's just a curve to it. A swoop. So you can do this. Yeah, you can do. Like, yeah, oh man, I'm doing cocktail stuff. Yeah. The other day we were at a place, and this guy he's got cocktail shakers and he puts all the ingredients in, and slams the cocktail tins together, and then he knocks them together, and then he goes shake shake, done. Like, wait, what? Don't you want to combine your ingredients? You go through all this trouble to have this, this beautiful little act of what you're doing, and didn't bother to shake the ingredients together at all. And I'm like, okay, dude.
You want to bore the audience.
Like, okay, so what are we doing here? There's no really heavy, cloyingly sweet ingredient in this cocktail, so I don't really have to pay much attention to what order things are going in. And in fact, we're going to start with 2 ounces, which is now 4 ounces of lime juice. Because we're making a double batch.
Woohoo!
2 ounces. 4 ounces. I'm so glad I squeezed all of those limes. Whew. What else? Now the yuzu puree. I learned this earlier today. So the yuzu puree does need to be shaken a bit. This top, this is not a good top for doing any kind of shaking work. So we're going to do this. Scary sound.
We're also going to put it in a different bottle.
Yeah, we are totally moving this to a different bottle. But yeah, earlier today I was like, oh, before I take a taste, I should shake it up. And I shake, 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 and I heard this splat, 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 splat. And I'm like, oh, man. Making tiki drinks. It's messy. All right, 2 ounces, normally 1 ounce, doubled to 2 ounces, yuzu puree. Now, is this pure yuzu puree? No, it's got other stuff in it. But I've tasted it. It's pretty tasty. Tastes kind of like yuzu. I did read somewhere that the yuzu fruit is like not allowed to be imported into the U.S. for some strange reason. I'm not sure that that's actually true. I was running through how do I get my hands on a yuzu ingredient, and it was like fruit not allowed in the U.S. I'm like, whatever. Okay, give me the puree. So I'll have to look that up. What else? Okay, so strange things in the jungle. Aperol.
Yuzu cannot be imported to the U.S., but it is currently grown in California.
Because everything's grown in California. Everything is grown in California. So this cocktail calls for 1 ounce of Aperol. Yeah, so Aperol, semi-bitter aperitivo, Italian aperitivo, with a tight cap. As opposed to Campari. My wife likes basically substituting 1-to-1. Any drink that has Campari in it, she likes Aperol better in it. She just doesn't like that bitterness to it. But in this case, the drink actually calls for Aperol, so we're going to do that. 2 ounces Aperol. This is the double measurement, yes. So it's 1 ounce per cocktail, so that's 2 ounces. Okay, so yuzu is the first weird ingredient. The second, you think, Aperol. What are you doing, buddy? Where are you going with this cocktail? Oh, just wait. Because the next ingredient is Lillet. It's Lillet Blanc, and they actually call for Lillet Blanc. So this is a fortified aperitif wine. So it's kind of like a vermouth-ish thing. We use it mostly in things like the Vesper. Yeah, although you probably... nowadays, if I'm making Vespers, I make them with Coqui Americano. I think it's a better flavor profile than... Because the Lillet Blanc... Okay, so... Side story. So you've got this drink called the Vesper, which was an Ian Fleming creation for James Bond. That drink requires Quina Lillet. Well, the Quina Lillet recipe has changed and is no longer what you want to use, and so people have been substituting the Lillet Blanc, which is close, but not quite what you want there. And so people have been experimenting with other things, and the Coqui Americano makes a really good Vesper. It does require vodka, though, so I'm sort of torn. It's a split base vodka gin martini using the Lillet or the Coqui Americano as the vermouth component. Ian Fleming is actually on record as going, ew, that's not very good, is it? This is what you get for writing about a drink and not actually tasting it first. So it'd be 1 ounce of Lillet, and so we're doubling that. We're going to go 2 ounces of Lillet. There we go. I think this is a godsend because I don't use a whole lot of Lillet, and it's fortified wine, essentially, so I need to use it like vermouth. So finding a drink that I actually like that uses this in it is great. I can use up my Lillet. Yay! And then we have 2 ounces of light rum. Now, their bar uses their well rum. I'm not going to out them. We are not going to use their well rum for this drink. We are going to go with something with a little more character to it. It is not all single column still from Puerto Rico by the world's second largest manufacturer of rum. We're going to use Plantation 3-Star instead, which is just sort of my favorite standard white rum. So it's 2 ounces. We're going to go 4 because we're doubling this cocktail. This will also up the alcoholic content of the cocktail by a little bit from their standard, because their rum is 40%. This is 41 point something.
Oh no.
Yeah, I know. Really? Oh my gosh, Booch, what are you doing to us? I don't know. Hopefully making you some good cocktails. And then 4 dashes Angostura bitters. This is the first time I'm making this cocktail at home. Normally I would play around with the bitters. I'm not going to for the first time. So we're just going to go 8 dashes Angostura bitters. Because 4 dashes for 1, 8 for 2, right? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Mint leaf. Oh my gosh, that is one of the problems with the Missionary's downfall. Maybe the Missionary choked on a mint leaf. That's what was his downfall. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not what they were talking about. Spanking something, huh? Oh. All right, we're gonna shake this over rocks. Not crushed ice, but we are going to serve it over crushed ice. And wow, glad I'm using the elevation shaker because we're basically full at that point. Hopefully we're not too full and I can get a seal on this. All right. This will stay. I don't need to put a thumb. Sure. This is double pane, or double walled. So you're not going to be able to tell how cold it is. I don't know. Oh man, I can't get a good throw because it's too full. Oh no! Oh no! I'm just gonna have to shake really hard, really long. It does have a nice feel to it. You can get a good grip on this. Not sure. I can do one-handed. Yeah, kind of. I gotta say, making a double cocktail in here, and it is a little heavier than your usual shaker, so this is a workout.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was the stupid like the thing?
The shaker.
The shaker workout. Yeah. Alright. And it does have the strainer, but we're not going to use that. We're going to use the Hawthorne because we want the finer straining. Goblet glasses is what I want for this. Darkness bearing chilled glasses. Because where else do you keep your chilled glasses but the darkness? Alright. It is so good to actually be walking around on this leg. And not having to do, oh hun, would you go fetch me? Because I am helpless. Alright, we do crushed ice. For the garnish for this, they just did dehydrated lime wheel dropped on top with, it was just like a dehydrated rosebud or something on there as well, which was really pretty. Very simple garnish to this. That was kind of a workout. Well, they really want you to use their strainer, don't they? Because my Hawthorne doesn't quite fit right on here. I am skeptical because this is not the same color. I wonder if they actually got their hands on like real yuzu. I don't know. No clue. Fortunately, we have some dehydrated limes. That. I'll do that. Is there more in there? There is more in there, so I'm just gonna, I will keep this up here and I will use that for me. These two can go to the table. Grab you a couple of straws. New straws, new straws. Straw. Man, I'm hoping, I don't know. First time I've ever made this drink. It was very tasty in the restaurant. The jungle. And the other one. There we go. Got him?
I got him.
All right. Sweet.
Thank you. So we're sharing these, right?
Well, you two share one and I'll take one.
And I'm out of crushed ice, so I'm just going to serve mine over there.
I'm just gonna use mine. Yeah. I think I only want to do space.
Well, the yuzu should be.
That's close.
The yuzu should be pretty tart.
I think we have to go back to the restaurant.
More research. More research. One jungle cocktail with a Surfside sip straw, because gotta do that.
What was left in the shaker?
That was what was left in the shaker.
Nice.
Yeah. So, wow, that's a. They make a big drink. My drink was only the size of like one of the goblets, so I think they gave me a recipe for a double, and then I doubled it. So.
No, because they served them in the stemless wine glasses. They're actually quite large.
That's close.
Mm-hmm.
It could be that my Lillet is a little on the old side. It could be that my Lillet really needs to be used up and isn't quite as bright as it needs to be. But
That will help with the research.
But that's not bad. I would not be ashamed. Oh, that's. You sit there and you're like, oh, that's tasty, and then wait, what is that? There's this other flavor.
Yeah.
And Emma's the kid's name. Emma.
You're right.
Emma. Hi, Emma. Don't hold this against me. What are you doing watching a cocktail show? Come on. All right, that's it for us. I'm not going to keep you any longer than this because, oh my gosh, these things are getting... I'm going to have to cut back to 3 cocktails total, I think, because, oh my gosh. Thank you for tuning in.
Woo!
Thank you for staying. Thank you for showing up and being here and being the live studio audience. And even if you had to peer around the camera in order to see me at times, appreciate it. It's always more fun doing this in front of actual people that can give me feedback on the drinks. Usually, it's better when the feedback is good. Which so far so good. Not so bad. All right, we have a huge mess here that we're going to have to clean up, so we should shove off and say thank you again, and we'll see you next weekend. That's the plan for 59. I don't know what we're doing for 59, but I didn't know what we were doing for 58 until this morning, so there you go.